Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Tricks and Treats is a neat little card game. The components are just utter trash. These cards comes in a tuck box. The cards are not good quality. They feel like stronger business cards almost. The quality is not very good. The art is very rudimentary. But the game itself is okay. It's this bluffing game where you'll be putting cards down and they're going to score for one Halloween candy basket. But you don't want people to know which one is yours, so you kind of spread the candy out so a lot of people can score. There's some action cards that you can kind of add in. And I feel like the game was pretty good. This designer, I believe it's one of his first designs, has gone on to be a very famous designer. And you can kind of see what he was going for here. It's a fun game. I think the theme is good. I think for a Halloween game, you can pull it out. I think families and kids and gamers will like it. Is it something you're going to play all the time? This is not the next number one on BGG. It's a little light card game. It does what it's supposed to do. It's fun, but I don't think it's something that you're going to want to invest a lot of time in. But I think it is a mild diversion, and it has a Halloween theme that you can break out on Halloween and have a really good time with it. That whole bluffing aspect to it is fun, although at some point you can start narrowing things down. And if you guess and you guess wrong, it does have player elimination. It's required in this game because otherwise you have people guessing all the time. So that kind of works out of its favor, but I think it's a light enough, quick enough, fun enough game that you can kind of overlook that because you kind of want to be sure before you just start randomly guessing, and being eliminated kind of does that, and that requires players to actually care if they're eliminated. Otherwise, you'll be like, oh, you did it, and I don't have to play anymore. You don't want that in a player elimination game. So Tricks and Treats is a fun little Halloween-themed game. What I'd recommend, I'm not going to keep it in my collection. Even though I do like it, normally I would keep this game in my collection. I have kept it for a long time. I just don't have the room anymore, and I got to get rid of some of these games. I like the theme. I kind of like what's going on, but I think I just like other games better, and games I'd rather keep in my collection other than this one. I'd rather play something like Dead of Winter over this. And you're saying, well, Dead of Winter is so different. Sort of. You're still placing things in piles. People are trying to deduce who you are, and I like that sort of aspect better than this one. So that's where I'll keep my gaming at. I like that bigger production than this game. So this one will be a purge for me. Here's Tricks and Treats. It comes in a little tuck box, very cheaply made. So you untuck this, and you would have your cards and your rules inside. This box is not going to have a long life. I'm surprised mine has held up. These cards are really, really bad quality too. They feel really, really cheap. You have a rule book that will fold out. You'll have some of these. This is the advanced variant you can add to the game. You're going to have these cards. These have numbers on them in different colors. You can see the matching ones with the little things that you take out trick-or-treating. And then your candy. Very bland, big numbers, different types of candy at the top. Very, very, very bland. The Time's Up card just looks like that. I can't stress how cheap these cards are. Really not good quality. The components are lacking in this game. Here are the rules for the game. They fold out like this. You got some setup, your objectives, and some pictures of the cards, the content, which is really nice. You got setup of the game over here, and the rules on this side of the page. The game is very, very easy to learn. Really, it's not that much. You have your advanced rules here, and the rest of it is just examples kind of the advanced cards, how they work, and some credits. So really, to play your turn is all right here. Very simple game. You can read the rule book probably in about 2 to 5 minutes. So this is what a three-player game would look like set up. You'd have a number of baskets plus 2. So if you're playing with 4, you'd have 6 out. If you're playing with 2, then you had 4 out. And everybody will randomly get one of these, which will coordinate with this. So if you're 1, that's your basket. If you're 5, that's your basket. And you'll keep this secret throughout the game. I'll get back to this in a moment. Then you'll shuffle up the candy deck. You'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off the top. And you'll take the Time's Up card, and you'll shuffle them together so you don't know where it's at, but you know it's in the bottom 6 cards. And you'll put the deck on top of that. And then everybody draws 2 cards, and you're ready to play. So in this scenario, let's say that I am number 4. This is who I am. And only you would know this. The other players would not know that. So what I am trying to do is put candy in the 4th. So I would put 3 there, and then I would draw a card. So now I have this. And on my next turn, let's say I put another card there, and I would do this. Oh, a 4 on my next turn? Fantastic. I will just put this here. And then what everybody would do is just, if you're 1, you put a 1 on 2 and 3. But that wouldn't be much of a game, right? So that's what I could do. Or I could put a card over here on 2. And maybe I didn't put any of these out there. I'm 4 still, but I didn't put any of those cards out there. On my next turn, I'm going to put one on 3. And then I'll put another one on 2. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably being led to believe that maybe I'm 2. But we know that I'm not, because I'm 4. I'm doing that to just bluff. Maybe I'll throw something like a 1 over here on 4. Just because I want to put something there, but I don't want anybody to know what I am. And then I put 1 here. And I put 1. Maybe I do another 1 there. But maybe that's getting too obvious. So I'm going to put a 4 there just to throw people off the stink. Right? So I'm putting things other way. So that's what you're doing. And that's what the score is going to be. So if you were basket number 1 at the end of the game, if this is how it ended, we get 2 points. 2, we get 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and so on and so on. But this is where a game is interesting. Any point in the game, if somebody wants to accuse me of being a number, they say, I think you're 3. And I show them that I'm 4, and they're wrong, they are eliminated from the game. If they are correct, they take my card, and this will score them additional 5 points at the end of the game, and I am eliminated from the game. So you don't want to be too forward about where you're putting things. You want to bluff that a little bit, so that keeps you from just obviously just tapping 4, 4, 4, 4 when you're 4. You want to put things in different places and not always your high cards there, etc., because you'll give away who you are. Now remember, if you're playing a 3-player game, let's say we're 3, 4, and 5. Player 1 is 3, 4, and 5, and I'm 4. Well, I know that they're one of these other 4 numbers, and I can start narrowing it down. Because I know they're not 4, because I am. So I start narrowing down what I think they could be. And you really want to be sure when you call somebody a cheater and cast that doubt on them, because if you're wrong, you are out of the game. Whoever has the most candy at the end wins the game. Now, there is an advanced variant where when you're putting these out, you can also put these baskets out, and these are special baskets that can go, and they'll add a little bit of chaos and fun to the game. So, bad candy. At the end of the game, count the number of candy of each type in this basket. The candy type that has the most is considered a bad candy and counts for 0. So if this was out, and let's say it had the most candy corn, then all of the candy corn would not score at the end of the game. We'll just throw that out for illustration purposes. And now 4 is down to a 2 score and is tied with 1 for last. Now if that would have been, let's say, chocolate that got knocked out, then we would have got rid of these 2 chocolates, and 2 would have went from winning to losing, right? Now yellow wins. That's what these can kind of do. I'll go through a couple more with you. Cooties basket. At the end of the game, count the number of candy of each type in this basket. The candy type that has the most in this basket has cooties. The player with the most candy type loses the game. So each time a player puts a card in his basket, that player may swap the basket with an adjacent basket. At the end of the game, 2 baskets adjacent to this basket loses all of their candy. Disco. Whenever there are 10 or more candy in this basket, discard the cards in this basket. Then swap the numbered basket with the least amount of candy with the numbered basket with the most candy. So this is kind of chaotic and mess things up. I do advise playing with these advanced cards. I do like them quite a bit, and they're very easy to play in unless you're playing with really young kids. Who should buy this game? First of all, anybody looking for a Halloween-themed game, you're looking for a light card game, this is it. This is really, really fun to play, and it has that kind of spreading the candy out aspect, which I like quite a bit. Anybody looking for a light card game, this one gives you a big punch in what's just a little tuck box. I mean, it's small, but there's actually a game in here, not just some random fest. Anybody who wants to play a game like this with their family of bluffing, but doesn't want like a Dead of Winter theme, wants something a little bit more family-friendly of sharing candy, this would be it. Otherwise, light card game players will like this. For me, this was a hard one because it's actually a fairly good game, but not one that I'm going to keep in my collection, so I'm going to go ahead and purge this one. But I do tell you to go ahead and try this one out if you're thinking about it, or if it sounds interesting to you, go ahead and pick it up. That may be well worth it. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.